gaming and all its wonders. Today, we'll be taking a closer look at one of the most critically acclaimed RPGs of all time, The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt. Developed by CD Projekt Red and released in 2015, The Witcher 3 has garnered a massive following and numerous awards for its rich storytelling, captivating characters, and immersive open world. But what makes this game so special? And why is it still relevant today? Join me as we delve deeper into the world of The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt. In contrast to its forerunner, The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt doesn't burst out of the gate with the same intensity. While The Witcher 2 thrusts you into a captivating tale of seduction and deceit from the outset, the main quest of its successor may seem uninspiring and even obligatory at times. However, every instance I ventured off the beaten path to carve my own way, I was met with a thrilling, expansive, and exhilarating fantasy role-playing adventure, brimming with opportunities to employ its superb combat mechanics. Even after devoting over 100 hours to The Witcher 3, I'm still tempted to push forward, as there's so much more to discover and hunt. The RPG mechanics of The Witcher 3 are just as intricate and profound as its two predecessors, and the vast open-world setting adds an extra layer of complexity that is both daunting and ultimately satisfying. It's challenging to articulate just how enormous and expansive this world is. Lush, undulating fields adorned with swaying vegetation of all shapes and sizes occupy the space between loosely connected, ramshackle communities where people struggle to survive. A complete day-night cycle and dynamic weather tie it all together, establishing The Witcher 3's terrain as one of the most realistic open worlds I've ever encountered. A useful minimap guides you to your destination, which may seem like a crutch, but honestly, without it, I would have been completely lost. The fact that a world this vast still feels purposeful and replete with activities is an impressive feat. However, there is one exception to the game's impressive features, and that is the technical performance of the Xbox One and PS4 versions. Aiming for 30 frames per second was sometimes too demanding, and the transitions between the game's two primary maps were slightly too long. Additionally, minor glitches would occasionally appear. Although none of these issues had a significant impact on gameplay, they did slightly detract from the overall experience's visual appeal. Fortunately, PC players can anticipate much better performance. With a GTX 980, The Witcher 3 can run at 60 frames per second on ultra settings at all times. The introduction of a new open-world map has significant implications for the narrative structure, and while there are instances of brilliance, the primary storyline ultimately falls short in The Witcher 3. You could say that it suffers from the Elder Scrolls syndrome. The plot commences as Geralt embarks on a search for his long-lost lover Yennefer and his surrogate daughter Ciri, spanning multiple continents. However, my primary concern is that it never progresses much beyond that. The excessively protracted main quest merely entails Geralt completing tasks for individuals in exchange for information on Ciri's whereabouts. It maintains a sense of purpose and drive, but it feels more like a futile pursuit than an enthralling enigma to unravel, similar to the one we witnessed in Assassins of Kings. The game's dialogue and voice acting are top-notch, providing some emotional gratification throughout the journey. However, these moments are diluted with an abundance of filler content, including trivial fetch quests and item collections. Each time I approached a pivotal point in the storyline, I would suddenly have to pause to escort a goat or track down a dozing dwarf. At times, even Geralt appears to be struggling to conceal his irritation with the ceaseless stream of menial chores. It's important to mention that while playing the first two games in the series is not a requirement, not having read the Witcher novels may result in some difficulty in relating to Ciri until the final quarter of the game. The Witcher 3 assumes a level of investment in finding her, which may be challenging to muster, particularly given the fascinating cast of characters who are relegated to secondary roles. Fortunately, these characters are given the opportunity to shine once you venture off the main path, and this is where The Witcher 3 truly excels. Depending on the choices made in The Witcher 2, which can be easily recreated through early game dialogue, you'll encounter many familiar faces who will aid Geralt in his search. Once these characters have been reintroduced, they offer a secondary set of quests that typically provide much more intriguing scenarios to explore. These optional escapades include underground power struggles, assassination plots, love triangles, and unexpected alliances. They're also substantial and teeming with rich story content, that they feel as though they should have been an integral part of the main quest. The same can be said for many of the side quests you encounter during your travels. In addition to the abundance of standard side missions, monster dens, and bandit hideouts scattered throughout The Witcher 3's colossal world, you'll also receive a plethora of monster hunting Witcher contracts to pursue. Geralt's quarry encompasses everything from ghostly wraiths that must be made corporeal before you can harm them to foglets that conceal themselves in dense fog, waiting for an opportunity to strike. The benefit of undertaking these missions is twofold. In keeping with the game's lore, they represent your most dependable source of income, which is genuinely significant given the appropriately frugal in-game economy. Additionally, these hunts and other side activities often provide intriguing glimpses into a land ravaged by war and the numerous entities that impact it. Even better, you are one of these entities. Although your actions may not significantly alter the primary storyline's conclusion, I frequently revisited places I had previously visited to discover that a seemingly minor decision had major ramifications. The game lacks a morality meter, paragon or renegade rating. In The Witcher 3's Grey World, there is only cause and effect. The choices you make, both big and small, can genuinely alter the world around you, far more than most games that make similar promises. Character progression and equipment choices are equally significant. Compared to The Witcher 2, I noticed that The Witcher 3's RPG systems have been streamlined in some respects, while being made more complex in others. Regardless, the outcome is the same, an improved experience. Simplifications to how you restock and use potions and oils make them feel more practical and instantly useful, as you no longer need to meditate to utilize them. While the previous method was more in line with Witcher lore, it makes less sense to anticipate that players will plan and prepare for everything they may encounter in an expansive open world. On the other hand, there is now a broader range of powerful and engaging potions available, including those that significantly enhance mounted combat and others that restore health as you cast spells, known as signs in the Witcher universe. Regarding signs, they have been enhanced significantly with alternate casting modes and a wider variety of upgrades, making them a valuable asset in every battle. In fact, it's now feasible to develop a sign-focused Geralt. I played him similarly to a jayvee, capable of influencing people's thoughts and conversations, performing a powerful long-range force push, and reflecting crossbow bolts back to their source, a returning ability that is now much more practical. The new skill system provides a high degree of flexibility, while still rewarding players who strive for the best builds, and weapon and armor crafting is just as complex and nuanced as ever, if not more so. All of these features come together in The Witcher 3's responsive and visceral real-time combat. In previous iterations of the series, combat felt vague and somewhat clunky, but here it's so fluid and satisfying that I actively seek out bandits just to engage in battle. I deflect their attacks with magical barriers, parry their blows with uncanny precision, and dispatch them with a bloody flourish. The Witcher series has always made me feel as though I've outwitted my enemies, but for the first time here, controlling Geralt feels truly powerful and badass in every victorious fight. Despite the lengthy and somewhat monotonous main story, The Witcher 3 offers a boundless and enthralling open world to explore, providing an escape when the plot becomes too much to bear. Although the storyline may lack some intrigue, the diverse and captivating cast of characters more than compensate, combining with the superb combat and RPG gameplay to transport The Witcher 3 to a level rarely achieved by other RPGs. In conclusion, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is a masterpiece of the RPG genre. The game's rich storytelling, unforgettable characters, immersive open world, and exceptional combat system have cemented its place as one of the greatest games of all time. And with the release of the Netflix adaptation, which has brought a new wave of fans to the series, The Witcher 3 is as relevant and beloved today as it was when it first released in 2015. Whether you're a longtime fan or a newcomer to the series, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is an experience that no RPG enthusiast should miss.